take a look at that. And then, so we're going to take a look at the malware. And then after that, we're going to take a look at the OSI model. We're going to get and that's for the class that's like 6 weeks old right now. We're going to take a look at the OSI model and get a better understanding of it. I know you guys went over a scenario during class, but we're going to go over a different scenario tonight. So before we get started with that, does anybody have any questions? While you're thinking of your questions, I'm going to go ahead and answer Joel's question. I briefly talked about the man-in-the-middle attacks. They're easy to do. I don't want to say easy and then you get stuck. I mean, you're probably going to get stuck. We all do, but they're pretty simple to do. You don't need to know how to do it for the Security Plus. It's good to know for work, real world, and interviews, how to do them, and just how to protect yourself personally. So let me answer your first question, Joel. Splunk is a SIM tool. All right, it's one of the most popular SIM tools out there. There are a few of them, but SIM tools are SIM tools. They all do the same thing. What it's doing, in a nutshell, is collecting logs from everything in your environment. Well, you want it to collect logs from everything in your environment. So your firewalls, I'm going to call you guys the June class. So the June class, you guys are talking about different security tools. I believe you guys are going into the bigger picture of things and looking at the architect now. So keeping Splunk in mind, all these tools that you're learning about, they all collect logs. Every single one of those tools collect logs. If they don't, you want to figure out a way to make it collect logs. And Splunk is going to collect all of these logs. Your firewalls are going to give off logs. Your proxies are going to give off logs. Your NIPS, NIDS, your IPS, your IDS, they're all going to store firewall logs. I mean, they're going to store logs, their own respective logs, and they're going to send it over to Splunk. And what Splunk is going to do, Splunk is going to make things pretty for you to read. Instead of looking at, I should add some logs in here. Let's use, where you at? Where's the yum log? Let's just do this. Instead of looking at this right here, this is a bunch of crap. I mean, it makes sense to me when I'm looking at it. But you have directors, you have managers, you have leadership who just don't know what's left from right. So we have tools like Splunk that's going to take this and turn it into a pie chart. It's going to turn it into a bar chart. It's going to turn it into a timeline, so you can see different things. Not just, you can see when was the last time I logged into my computer. You can see when was the last time any user logged in. You can see how many times they failed to log in. Why do we care how many times they failed? Well, somebody's probably trying to brute force their account. They're probably trying to just throw in a bunch of random passwords to see if they can get in or not. So those types of things, security incidents, non-security incidents, just incidents and events, period. Splunk SIM tools allow you to see it. I like to think of these SIM tools like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf, and that one machine, that little robot is just can see everything that everybody's doing. It doesn't matter if they're at a traffic light, if they're on the bus, if they're on the plane, it doesn't matter. It can see everything they're doing. That's Splunk. It can see everything you're doing if you set it up the right way and send the right logs to it. So that's Splunk, Joel. Hopefully that helps. We do have a Splunk Cyber Thursday coming up. I didn't want to do it today, primarily because I wanted to touch this OSI model for the other class. So maybe we'll get that one next Cyber Thursday.
Well, that's cool. I got it.
All right. How's everything coming along in the class? I know Joel, he has a lot of questions for me, and I'm not saying it to pick on you, but he has a lot of questions outside of class, which I highly encourage. How's everything going along inside of class?
Yo, class cool, man. Alonzo's a good instructor, man. Everybody who's in class with me, Calvin, JD, Frank, everybody pretty much asks questions, get clarity, and they actually help. Mm-hmm. But but doing good. Just getting the basics right now of or just under basics of attacks, basic attacks, and we're gonna build on there.
Okay. Yeah, and that's where you all are today. And that's actually what I'm gonna start with. We're gonna do the OSI model in the second half. So let's go ahead and dive into today's session real quick, man. I'm not gonna keep y'all waiting. So first things first, malware. Does anybody want to tell me, or can anybody help me explain what malware is? You don't got to do it all at once, though.
Let's
We
go,
need one
6 week
person.
class.
Pretty much malicious software. Computer.
Yep, that's what it is in a nutshell. It's malicious software, and we have various types of malware. Now, understanding, this to the June class, it probably sounds like 1 + 1 = 2. It's really simple now, but really understanding what malware is, like in the June class, can probably testify to this now with what they know. Understanding what malware is helps you understand why we use certain security controls. And when I say certain security controls, I'm talking about our firewalls, our antivirus, our proxies, our NIPs, our NIDs. You understand why we use them. You understand why we upgraded from older versions to newer versions. You understand why cryptography is the way it is. You won't understand any of this, or you'll have a hard time understanding this if you don't know what malware is and if you don't know what it does. Now, we have a bunch of different types of malware, right? When it comes to the exam, they're going to be distinguishable, okay? Remember that before we go into what we're about to talk about. When it comes to your exam, a virus is a virus. It needs to be executed in order for it to infect you. A worm is a worm. Once it's downloaded, it's going from left to right, okay? It doesn't need user interaction. It doesn't need me. It doesn't need JD. It doesn't need Frank. It doesn't need any of you to tell it what to do. It's going to run. A Trojan is a backdoor, right? Well, let me stop. A remote access Trojan is a backdoor. A rat is a backdoor. A Trojan is just an application pretending to be something else. So this Google update, or Google Chrome, you can see my little Google Chrome thing right here at the bottom. I can create an application that looks just like this right here. And when you download it, you think it's Google Chrome, but it's actually not Chrome. It's a Trojan. And it may be a Trojan that has RAC capabilities, remote access capabilities. So today, what we're going to do is create one. In your classes, you don't see that stuff because you don't need to. You don't need to know how to make malware. You don't need to know how to transfer from system to system. We just show you to help you understand security in a whole. So what we're going to do is make this malware. And any of you can do this. You can download this operating system. It's called Kali Linux. Kali Linux. And if you can't see my screen, let me know. You can download this operating system. It's one of my favorite. It has almost every it has a lot. I'll just say a lot. It has a lot of different security pen testing tools. Like all of these are pen testing tools that we can use to exploit things, sniff things on the network, password crackers. It's just social engineering tools right here. There's a whole bunch, right? So you come in here, you can play with it on your own time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a tool called, am I recording? Yeah. Somebody sent a message. Let's see. Can you stretch the screen down? When you say stretch it down, what can't you see? I'm using my big boy screen right now, so I'm not sure what you can't see.
Oh, it's just like at the top half of the screen. So I'm seeing like all white at the bottom, and then I see your desktop on like the top half of my screen.
All right, let me do this. That's can you see what I'm moving around right here?
No, I actually just shrunk the screen, so you can keep it how you had it. I'll try to figure it out on my end. It's cool.
Is there anybody else? Are you guys all having that same issue? Like you can only see half of the screen, or can you see my entire desktop?
I mean, right now I see 4 terminals.
Yeah, you should see 4 terminals right now. Right here, right here, right here, right here.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. Keith, let me know if you're having issues. I am recording.
A wide monitor?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's why it looks like that.
Yeah, I can just switch it over, but it's just gonna make the terminal screens look really ugly. Just do this. How about this? Hopefully this looks better for you. Or we can just come over.
Straight.
You said it's straight?
Yeah, honestly, it's straight.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure everybody can see what we're about to do. So I don't even know how I open up 4 terminals. It's habit when I start pen testing.